Hello, Saki students. It's time for our next read aloud. We have finished our award-winning books, but there are plenty of more books to be reading, right? You can never run out of books. So the book we're going to read today has animals that are on the top of a food chain. So Kent, let's look at this chart that I made. And why don't you help me fill this out? So if we think of animals, what animal would be the top of the food chain in the desert or maybe even the safari? What animal? I'm thinking a lion. Is that what you thought? And what about the top animal in the ocean? The fiercest animal that would live in the ocean that everyone would fear? Did you think of shark? All right, now what about the animal that lives in the forest? The fiercest animal. Now this one was hard for me. What about the wolf? All right, so these are our main characters, the wolf, the lion, and the shark. And they're having a hard time trying to just be themselves. So let's find out how they accomplish that. So the book that we are going to read this week is called Carnivores, written by Aaron Reynolds and illustrated by Dan Santat. Now, if we look at just the cover, it has a picture here and it says Premium Eaters. It looks like we have a lion and a shark. I'm not quite sure what this one is. We have to read to find out what this one is. But all three of them seem to be meat eaters, a carnivore. The carnivore food pyramid. Now, we just talked about that. So let's look at these different animals and where would they belong in the food pyramid? The lion is known throughout the animal kingdom as the king of beasts. The great white shark is the most feared predator in the oceans. And the timber wolf's howl strikes terror into the hearts of fuzzy woodland creatures everywhere. Oh, it was the wolf that was on the cover. But even savage carnivores get their feelings hurt. The lion tries to ignore it when the gazelles whisper behind his back. He pretends not to see the zebras looking down at their noses at him. The wildebeest call him Bad Kitty, just because he's eaten half the neighborhood. It hurts. It really does. The great white shark. He gets such a bad rap. All those shark movies don't help. Everyone talks about his feeding frenzies, but he's simply a fast eater. Nobody understands. And the timber wolf almost never eats little girls. That Little Red Riding Hood story is very misleading. The bunny rabbit always says, "Quit sneaking up on me." But he's not sneaking. He's merely a very quiet walker with vicious fangs and scary eyes. He can't help it. So it was just a matter of time before the lion, the great white shark, and the timber wolf started hanging out. because when carnivores need to share their feelings. At their first get-together, the timber wolf came up with an idea that might solve everything. When in doubt, hug it out. It's a good lesson. We'll go vegetarian. Oh, what is vegetarian? If carnivores means they eat meat. Vegetarian. I hear the word vegetable in it. I think that means that they're only going to eat vegetables. Now, do we think these animals are going to do that? Let's find out. The lion tried to enjoy his salad, but leaves and bark kept getting stuck in his razor-sharp teeth. The great white shark ate nothing but seaweed for a whole day, but it left a horrible kelpy aftertaste in his mouth. And the timber wolf tried his hardest to eat only berries, but every single berry bush seemed to have a bunny inside. They realized that becoming vegetarians was a silly idea in the first place. Doesn't this book remind you of Finding Nemo, where the sharks say, "Fish are friends, not food"? That's what this book reminds me of. Before long, the great white shark came up with a fabulous new idea. The disguise plan. So they're going to disguise themselves. Let's see. New outfits will blend right in. At first, the lion's antelope disguise worked out terrific. Everyone treated him so nicely, but when the other antelope smelled his zebra breath, it was all over. Looks like the lion didn't keep his plan of only eating vegetables. The great white shark blended right in with the dolphins. Nobody suspected him of being bloodthirsty at all until all the dolphins disappeared. Who ate him? Did the shark? I think so. And the timber wolf kept drooling on all the other bunnies. The disguise idea was a dud, which was very frustrating, which made them all hungrier than ever. As a last resort, the lion invited the oldest and wisest carnivore he knew to come speak to the group. The great horned owl was happy to be included. "What should we do?" asked the lion. "Everyone is mean to us," said the great white shark. "I never know what to say," said the timber wolf. Let's see what the owl tells him. The owl smiled. "It used to hurt my feelings too, but now I remind myself, I'm not bad. I'm a carnivore. Eating meat is just what I do." Oh, I hear the author's message in this. Eating meat is just what I do. What do you think the owl's trying to teach the lion, the shark, and the wolf about themselves? "I'm not bad," whispered the lion. "I'm a carnivore," confessed the great white shark. "Eating meat is just what I do," declared the timber wolf. The wise owl was brilliant. It turned out that he was also delicious. These days, things are different. The lion doesn't dread going to the watering hole anymore. When the zebras give him nasty looks, he smiles his friendliest smile and eats them. The great white shark feels much better about gobbling up everybody in sight. He knows that he's a husky fish with a healthy appetite. When the timber wolf gets the munchies, he doesn't think twice about grabbing a handful of bunnies. They have really negative attitudes anyway. After all, they're not bad. They're carnivores. Welcome new members. What other carnivores do you see in this page? Looks like we have the cheetah, crocodile, a bear, eating meat is just what they do. All right, Saki students, that is our book for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time. Bye.